Hello and welcome to this week's video. So it has been a while since I have been online doing any online races, and the reason why I've been very busy, and also the last one didn't go very well because I was trying to talk and drive at the same time, which I don't do very well. So we're going to change the format going forwards. These are going to be pre-recorded videos, and we're going to start by looking at a lap of Laguna Seca from this week's Group C online race on Gran Turismo. And the cars we're in, we are in a GT3 spec GT car with medium tyres. So the fastest car really happens to be the Porsche 911, which you'll have seen a few weeks ago. I'm back with that rusty livery, but there's nothing rusty about this lap time. As you're about to see, this lap time puts me in the top 400 in the world at the time of airing. That might slip because people are always getting a bit faster, but just for reference, I am about half a second a lap off some of the professional YouTubers, so I'm pretty chuffed with this. So I hope you enjoyed the lap. I'm going to switch my camera angle now to the same camera angle that I was using when I was driving. And just before we start, just a disclaimer, I'm driving without traction control and I'm using a steering wheel and pedals. And I'm just going to talk you through the lap. As we reach each braking zone, each key milestone around the lap, I will pause the video and explain how I'm driving. And then some better YouTuber can come along and tell me that I could be doing it better. So here we go. I'm going to play the lap now. So coming down into turn one, the first braking zone is on the painted line on the right hand side of the track, right next to the number 3. I want to brake in a straight line and try not to get the car to oversteer. And then what I'm going to do is just slightly ease off the brake as I start to turn in, because I am still braking and turning into this corner. It is a trail braking corner. And what I want to do is just run slightly wide between the first and the second apex of this hairpin so that I can get the car hooked up to that second apex and accelerate in as straight as line as possible. So let's see how that goes. I'm braking down there and into that first apex, slightly wide, onto the second apex and as flat out as I can now out to the outside. And now the next braking point is this, not this number 2 marker, because it's not that simple. It's actually the piece of sand after the number 2 marker where I'm braking. That's my reference point. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down a gear, which is not the fastest way to take this corner. A lot of the pros are taking it in 3rd gear, but I was struggling to get the car turned in. So I'm going to go down to 2nd gear. It's going to make the car oversteer slightly onto the apex. That should get me a nice positive front end, and then I can accelerate as soon as I can on the way out. So now I'm accelerating. So you see there, almost as soon as I passed the apex, I was accelerating. It wasn't perfect. There's maybe another 1/10 to be found if I was to absolutely nail it. The next corner doesn't need any braking. All I'm going to do is just ease off the accelerator and coast around this corner. And this corner is all about picking your turning point. Because there's no braking, it's just all about how early or late you turn in. You're aiming to just miss that red sausage curb that you can see on the inside of the track. If you hit it, you're going to get launched off into barrier R and you're going to have a massive crash. And likewise, if you go too wide, then you're going to run wide and have a spinneroo. So here I am trying to take it as fast as I can. Let's see how that goes. And whoa, I nearly span. I was really pushing it on this lap. I maybe am losing a 1/10 of a second down here because I got some wheels onto the dirt there. It cost me a bit of speed down this straight, but this was still my best lap. And it just goes to show, if I was to put some more practice in, I can set an even faster lap. Because if you've done it once, you can do it again. The next braking zone is where this number 2 board is. And I'm braking down to 3rd gear and I'm just hugging the inside and onto the accelerator as soon as possible. You want to keep your minimum apex speed as high as possible around that corner, especially because you've got an uphill now, and speed up that hill, well, speed at the base of the hill equals even more speed at the top of the hill. And now we're coming to the real bravery test. This is how much of a man you are, because what you're seeing here is a completely blind turn-in. with a horrible curb on the inside, which will reveal itself as I go around the corner. There's a horrible sausage curb on the inside, and that's what I'm aiming to get as close to as possible. If I run wide, there's a very quick trip to the barriers on the outside of this, because you will run out of road very quickly and just spin. So just pause the video now and just have a bet what I'm going to do with the brakes into this corner, and then hopefully when I press play you'll be a bit surprised as to how much speed I take through it. So 3, 2, 1, and we're playing. And you see there, so I've kept it actually in 4th gear, and the pros are taking it even faster than this. You can see how close I got to that sausage curb. That is exactly where I wanted to be. I'm going to unpause it, and you see that I almost ran out of track. Again, I could have taken it maybe 1 mile an hour faster, and I would have been 2 wheels onto that rumble strip, instead of just sort of kissing it as I did. And that would give me a bit more speed up this next straight, up to the most famous corner on this track, the corkscrew. So we're coming up to the corkscrew now, and I'm just going to pause the video here, because again, this is a corner where even people who play racing games probably don't take this the right way, and I definitely didn't take this the right way until I really got into my racing. So what you want to be doing is you want to be braking probably where that, just before that number 3 marker off in the distance, just before the crest of the hill, and you want to brake in as straight a line as possible, because any steering angle here is going to get the back end of the car to step out, and the corkscrew is one hell of a steep corner. Just to point out, the game says to take it in 1st gear. That is total crap. Do not do that, because if you shift down gears as you're taking the corkscrew, you are going to lose the back end. Right? Shifting down gears has the effect of shifting weight forwards in the car, and it's great for getting the nose of the car into corners, but you don't want that with the corkscrew, because it's such a steep downhill corner. It will just spin you. So see what gear I take it in, and you'll see exactly why I'm doing it. So we're down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd, and now I'm drifting out wide, but I'm going to aim the car at the rumble strip that appears on the right, and I'm going to shift it into 3rd gear to stabilise the back end. I felt that the car was oversteering, so I shifted into 3rd to stop it. And now, what's interesting here is I'm actually down on my personal best split here, so there's another 2/10 that I could find. If I was to drive this lap again, I could possibly go another 2/10 faster. Now this corner's still one that's I'm not really confident with. I can't really tell you how to go around it. I just stick to the inside, because the car tries to understeer to the outside in this corner. So my way of dealing with it is just stick to the inside and let it drift wide, which is exactly what I've done here. It's drifted wide like that. And now penultimate corner, we're braking pretty much halfway in between the 1 and the 2. And I'll be honest, I don't really have a good braking reference for this corner either, but I pretty much get it spot on. I just missed that sausage curb and out onto the curb on the right. This one's easy. You brake at the number 3 in a straight line, and then you just ease off the brake, a bit like we did with turn 1. Just ease off the brake as you take this final hairpin. And you see there, I'm just easing off the brake and onto the accelerator as soon as I can. I was careful at this stage not to spin the car out, because I've not got any traction control. It's all with the right foot, so I was just really cautious not to go spinning off into that barrier on the left. And here we go, over the line, and we have done a 120.988, just into the 120s. Just to say, that's a good enough for a top 400 lap, but the best laps out there are in the high 119s. So there is another second to go to be sort of a world champion pace. Another 0.4 seconds would put me on with the top YouTubers out there. So relatively happy with that lap. I'll be uploading some racing from Laguna Seca. I've got to do those races tomorrow. Then I'll compile them all and upload them for your viewing pleasure. So like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you can watch my next video, which should be coming in the middle of next week. My production values are getting better, and I'm getting slightly more professional, and I'm getting a better driver, so there's nothing to not like. So come and watch some high-octane racing with plenty of overtakes, plenty of crashes, plenty of surprises. I have been your host, Win, lose or both, but I prefer to be called Chris. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.